Hi, I'm Paul Salmon. I'm a spiritualist medium. My guest today is writer Samantha Brook. Hi Samantha.
Hi Paul.
Or Sam.
Well, my professional name is Samantha Brook,
Samantha.
but most of my friends call me Sam or Sammy.
All right, Sam. Nice to see you. Now, I'm intrigued because you're writing a book at the moment.
That's right, yeah.
And it's called Effed Up. I'm not going to mention the proper. You say the title for me.
Effed up, drugged up, sexed up, loved up.
So that's why I got you to say it.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, well, it's either going to really grab hold of people, that title, or put people off, you know. Must admit it intrigued me, and I read some of your background. But tell me about the book itself.
So the book's about my journey. I think I've had a very interesting life. Obviously I'm biased.
No, it's you, yeah.
Yeah, but when I talk to people about my experiences, everyone says, oh well, you should write a book. I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, and I was quite unhappy as a child and a teenager, and most people think it's because I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, although I don't think it was. I think the Jehovah's Witness thing was just kind of the icing on the cake, so to speak, or as somebody I saw said, the mud on your shoe, or something like that. I think my parents had a lot of, I think I was brought up in a very dysfunctional family, and that's what caused me to be depressed from a very young age.
You go so far as saying abused, don't you?
Emotionally abused.
Abused.
Emotionally abused. I feel that I was emotionally abused. I don't think of it. Well, I'm sure my parents didn't mean to do it. I don't think most people do, but I think they've always done what they think is best for me. I just think that their idea of what is best for me is a bit warped.
Yeah.
So
okay.
The Jehovah's Witness thing really started affecting me when I was 18. I got kicked out of the religion.
Can you tell me how that happened, or not really?
Well, basically, I was doing what usual teenagers do. I had a boyfriend, and we were fooling around, and it's not allowed.
No.
It's a very strict religion, and so when I got kicked out, I was estranged from my family and my friends. So that hit me really hard. On top of already the emotional abuse of the way my mum and my stepmum treated me, and the effects of my parents getting divorced and my dad remarrying, so that was already causing, I believe, depression, and then to on top of that be kicked out of the religion.
Okay.
So. Yeah, and when I left the religion, I believed it 100%, because I'd been brainwashed really. So it was like my whole world had been taken away from me, from under my feet, and all my friends were in the religion, and none of my friends or family spoke to me anymore. So I had nothing basically. And then when I was 21, I started my spiritual journey, and I began my healing journey, but it was hard, and from my early 20s, probably most of my 20s, early 20s, I got myself into all sorts of situations.
Trouble, I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, when I left, because I'd been brought up so strictly as a Jehovah's Witness, and suddenly I'd left home, and I had no idea of boundaries, or I'd had so many rules and regulations in place, and suddenly there weren't any rules and regulations. So
you're saying at 21 you had this spiritual journey, like, did you not consider Jehovah's Witness to be your spiritual journey? Well,
I think looking back on it, I think as a young child, I had a thirst to learn about spirituality, but I always found the Jehovah's Witness meetings that I attended very boring, whereas everything I attend now I'm fascinated by and I find it so interesting. But I think it did awaken my, what do they call it in the Jehovah's Witness religion, the spiritual, I think they call it spiritual thirst or something like that. And I think I always had that. I was always fascinated by the world of spirit. But in the Jehovah's Witness religion, they believe, it's all basically black magic and occult, and so anything to do with talking to spirit or the angels, is all considered to be taboo.
So do you hear angels or those who've passed over? Can you work as a medium, psychic?
Not really. I've done some training on. I've got a certificate in angel card readings that I did with Doreen Virtue online, and I used to do angel card readings. I have done some that have been quite accurate, but it's not really my forte. I don't particularly enjoy doing it. I find it very exhausting. A lot of people have told me that I'm a healer, and I don't really get that. The only thing I can think of is that it's through my writing that I can help heal people.
I was just going to say that.
I hope that I can anyway.
When did you start writing?
Well, as soon as I could read and write, I was either writing a story or had my head in a book. So yeah, I was loved reading and writing from a young age.
Now I want to come to Egypt because what on earth made you? Not what on earth, but why did you go to Egypt?
Basically because I was stuck in a rut.
Because it wasn't a holiday as such, was it?
No, well, it started off as a holiday. I was in the UK. I went through a bit of a difficult time. Was feeling depressed and needed to cheer myself up, so I decided to go on holiday. Decided to book myself a holiday to Egypt, and I just loved it. It was by the Red Sea. There was a British girl that was living there, and she was there with her Egyptian husband. And I was like, this is what I want. I want to live in paradise. I want to feel like I'm always in paradise, that I'm always on holiday.
So what made you convert to Islam? Was it through him, meeting him?
No, that was her husband, but I did get married to an Egyptian guy when I was out there.
Okay.
Well, I say married. I was married under Egyptian law, which there's various levels of marriage in Egypt.
This isn't in the same holiday, is it?
No.
I was going to say some holiday.
No. I went back on holiday 3 times and then moved out there. But yeah, basically what we had was a contract that we ripped up when we split up. So I don't really consider myself to have been married. But I think it was partly because of him that I converted. But there is something about Islam. It's a really beautiful religion. I think it's changed a lot. It's not the religion that it was originally. And when I prayed the way that the Muslims pray, I just felt so peaceful and just felt like really like when you have a really good meditation, I just felt so peaceful and grounded, and it was such a wonderful feeling. So, and I think now I believe that I was Muslim in a few past lives, and I believe I was Egyptian in 3 past lives, and also lived in other Middle Eastern countries.
So
as
have
well.
you been told this, or is it how you feel?
Both. Yeah, when I lived in Egypt, I felt very at home there. I felt like I'd always been there, and my Egyptian friends were like, "Wow, you're so Egyptian," which is really bizarre. And I just fitted in there so well. And then people that I know that have psychic connection have confirmed that I was Egyptian in 3 past lives.
Now, what is it about the Egyptian uprising that changed your perspective on life?
I don't think it was so much the uprising that changed my perspective. It was living in Egypt in general.
Okay.
Seeing the poverty and the corruption, it just really made me think. And before I moved to Egypt, I was struck by how poor people were. When I went there on holiday, I was struck by how poor people were, and I knew that the average wage was very low. And I really wanted to do something about it, and I used to think, what can I do? It's just me. But I kept putting out that intention to the universe. I want to do something to help. What can I do? Never expected the uprising, although people talked about it, and I was like, yeah, it's never going to happen. So of course, as soon as I saw it on the TV, I was down there like a shot, protesting.
Because I notice in your writings and your website, you say you now heal other people through your experience.
Well, I wouldn't like to say I heal other people through my experience. I think that's a bit of a bold claim, but I like to believe that I can help people through my experiences, that hopefully people can learn from my experiences.
Okay.
And I always think if I can just touch one other person, then that's done its job, really.
But it's still, this book is still ongoing, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it's very much in the early stages. I've written 11,000 words so far, which I've done in the last few months.
Yeah.
It's something that I've been wanting to do for years, but kept procrastinating. And I think as part of my... the last year was very transformational for me, which was partly down to my work with Amanda Hart.
Yeah.
And I went from thinking, can I do it? Have I got what it takes? I'm not good enough, to thinking I can do it. I am determined to do it.
And Amanda's helped you on this?
I think as a result of the work that I've done with Amanda, my whole attitude and my whole life state has changed. And I've gone from thinking I'd like to do it, but I'm not sure if I can, to I am determined to do it.
Oh no, I've met Amanda. She's been a guest on here a few weeks ago. And a lovely lady, very impressive.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Very inspirational.
Where's Sam going next? What's lined up for you?
That's a very good question.
Or where do you think you'd like to?
You're the medium, you tell me.
Well, I could tell you, and I will tell you after this.
Okay.
But I want to know where you think you're headed.
Well, I'd like to complete my book this year. I've got my own business at the moment. I do social media marketing.
Okay.
That's very successful. And it wasn't really what I planned to do. It just kind of happened, as I think things often do when they're meant to be. So that is great, but it has kind of taken me away from my writing a little bit. So I need to find a way to spend more time on my writing.
Well, I want to encourage you to continue your writing.
Yeah.
You've got a really good, well, say a good story. You've got a story. I wouldn't say if it's all good or not of what you've been through. Interesting. And I want a copy when you. I tell you what, when it's written, come back. And
definitely. I'd love to. Yeah.
What about hobbies, Sam? Or
hobbies.
Other interest?
I play poker. I've been playing poker for a few months, and I absolutely love it. It's such good fun. Play with a local club in Ipswich. I have a few spirituality related hobbies. I attend workshops, and I've started practicing Buddhism in the last 3 years, and I'm now I'm not a Buddhist. I practice Buddhism, and I love Buddhism, the type that I practice. But I think my experience, because I was obviously brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, then when I was in my 20s I did the Alpha course, then I converted to Islam, and I don't want to convert to another religion. Apart from anything else, my friends won't stop taking the mickey out of me. Every time I see them they say, what religion are you this week, Sam? So I practice Buddhism anyway, and also do boxing classes.
And the list goes on. And
dancing is my other passion. I love dancing.
Do you? Sam, it's been a delight having you on my little show here today.
Thank you for having me.
You'll have to come back.
Definitely, I'd love to.
And we'll chat again.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks.